I just canceled my Kickstarter pledge for the Revopoint MetroX 3D scanner, and I think you might also want to consider canceling yours too. My name's Colin with 5050 Fab, if you can't tell, and I really just want to talk about why I canceled it and some of the things I've been seeing stir up online. It's going to be a very informal video. It's going to be choppy, but work with me. I just wanted to kind of share some of the information I've been finding out, making some of these observations I've been seeing, and share it with you. And just, I really want to push Revopoint to get more third-party testing out there. I really want consumers to have a really great product. I really want this to work, and I think that there's a lot of questionable things that are happening right now with this campaign. So I want to talk about them. A little bit about me, though. My name's Colin. This is my YouTube channel. We work on cars. We build obnoxious car modifications, and we do crazy things like flamethrower exhaust systems. And we're about to do a new series on an auto lotto where we spin the wheel and let destiny choose how to build this car this winter. But I've got over 15 years of automotive performance design experience, mostly designing engine, exhaust, suspension components, composite body panels, hood scoops, dashboard components. I've done consumer electronics designs, housings, gaming controllers. Literally a little bit of everything from anything. I've just loved making stuff. And a lot of that I use 3D scanning equipment, CMM equipment, calipers, tape measures, pitchers, literally anything I can use to take measurements. I've been using them for well over 10 years now. I primarily have been trained on some smaller CMM arms, as well as the Faro Edge arm and the Faro laser scanning systems. And I've also done a lot of of the lower cost laser scanning systems. For instance, the one I have been using is the Shining 3D Iron Star scan, which has been a pretty good scanner. But again, I haven't really gotten to test out a lot of the other Crealities and other low cost scanners. So I don't really have a great opinion on all of the scanners yet. But specifically for this video, I just want to, I think everybody really shared the excitement when they saw the price point on the MetroX. I got in right when I saw Instagram blow up with this laser system. I'm like, ooh, blue light 3D scanning system. I'm like, yes, I am so down for this new scanner. Just looking to get some higher scan fidelity, try to get some higher scan tolerancing, things that might be able to work on some more advanced projects than what I'm currently working on now. But again, for the price, I was just more interested in trying it because it looks really nice, and I wanted to try another platform too. So going from the IronStar software, I wanted to be able to switch over to Revopoint and try out their software as well. Um, so I had my alarm set. I was one of the first. I had to be one of the first, like 20 to 50 people to pledge. I don't know if you realized that, like, the campaign actually opened up like 4.5, 5 minutes prior to the actual time it said it was going to. So as soon as it did, I jumped on the pro package with the super early bird. They had like all of the different the marker kit with it, which, whatever. I thought that was an expensive marker kit, but got in line. I was so excited. And then boom, it was over $1 million funded in the first day. Really exciting. And I was finally starting to like do more work on researching the videos on, okay, let's see what people have scanned with this. And I saw unboxing videos. And that's when I started the very first beginning parts of, like, why are there so many unboxing videos and nobody actually using the scanner? So I think that was the very first thing. And I think when you look at the people who have who've made these unboxing videos, obviously some of them are directly related or closely work with Revopoint products, um, and some of them are not. So I think um, artisans of all, tons of great content on the channel, but definitely is pro Revopoint. Lots of Revopoint product on there, and definitely speaks favorably of Revopoint. So um, again, still provided some good like feedback on the packaging, the ergonomics of it, but that's not that valuable on the product performance. Jamal W only does Revopoint scanners. Again, there's not as much content on other brands, and he generally speaks very favorably about Revopoint products. And then Ken does 3D. It's a brand new YouTube channel. The only video on that YouTube channel is the unboxing of the MetroX, so that you can just throw it in the trash because that channel doesn't really count for anything. There's no credibility there. What I was really hoping to see for this Kickstarter campaign, at least even within the first week, I would have loved to see. These are some YouTubers that I see do 3D scanning videos. They have a really good base of like multiple platform scanning technology. And I really want these people to be the ones to have tested the MetroX while this campaign was going on. Making for Motorsports has a great video on the Einstar Pop 2 to CRO2 and the Lizard. Superfast Matt has a great Revopoint versus Einstar video versus the Raptor. Rakashi has an Einstar versus Revopoint. He does happen to favor Einstar in general, or Shining 3D. So take that with a grain of salt. So Tim Welds has a great Raptor video where he does a laser scan of the chuck of a lathe, and you can see how he designs a lathe chuck holder, and that was a great video to kind of just show the process of scanning and creating something from a laser scan. And then Couch Build has tons of great real world projects. If you haven't joined Couch Build on YouTube, definitely go through it. He has so many really cool, especially automotive focused projects on what he's used scanners for in real world applications in the automotive industry. So like, I mean, Revopoint, you really need to get the MetroX in the hands of these YouTubers who are making that have content that has more than one scanner. Like, so don't just give it to Revopoint YouTubers. Give it to people who are making content across all 3D scanners. That way we can really get a fair comparison on how good is this technology. Because when I see you only giving it to the people you really like, then again, I get it. There's some marketing aspects to it. So like maybe give half of them to your like really good people and then give half of them to the people that are still going to give it a fair, respectable review. But man, when you just give it to only people that love your product and a YouTube or two channel that are like brand new, really makes me question like, what are you hiding? Like, why are only the people you love getting these products, and why didn't you let them scan with the scanner? And that leads me to my biggest second worry. So they have the hardware, right? You can see the scanner, you can see the packaging. We saw live demos. Revopoint's doing live demos. We saw, I think they have 2 or 3 videos out now of live scanning of the MetroX, scanning like timing case covers. Um, let's see. They're doing timing case covers. They're doing like really complex, like a SIA, or it's like a big like casted aluminum component, very complex. Impressive how much it's able to capture from it. Um, but again, we're only seeing Revopoint use this in a very controlled environment with a very specific product. And again, coming from a background where I like to believe that we can trust this company to provide honest feedback, but we are talking about almost $2 million worth of funding now on Kickstarter. And there's no way they're going to show us anything other than pure excellence. I mean, they're not incentivized to give us the real feedback. They're going to give us the best premium, most, 10 out of 10 performance it could possibly have. And I'm hoping that the software they're using, that the parts that they're using, everything is like exactly what we're going to get as consumers. But again, why, if they have that software available, why didn't they release that to these YouTubers to start scanning stuff? And why didn't they let us start getting some real world feedback from people? And we're weeks into the Kickstarter campaign now, and we got nothing. I mean, we literally have nothing other than trust us, it's a great product. And for me, this is one of the big reasons why I canceled my Kickstarter campaign pledge. Was I don't trust anybody, especially because with Kickstarter, one of my other big reasons for canceling is there's no return policy. Yes, they do offer a 2-year manufacturing warranty. So if the product doesn't work, like for instance, if it's, a sensor goes out, a cable breaks, those types of things, they're going to warranty it out, and the product is going to work to the capacity they believe it should work. But if the product sucks, you are out of luck. So one of the reasons why I have the Einstar is I bought it on Amazon. I had 30 days to use it, and if I didn't love it, I could just return it. and I have the warranty through Einstar too. Um, and I'm not pro Einstar, but I'm pro Amazon. So being able to get that warranty through Amazon or a really good supplier, it's key because you don't always know if that piece of hardware is going to be exactly what you need until you get it, you try it, and you make sure that yes, this is going to work for my applications. And it's actually adding value to my engineering operations. Another thing I want to point out too, and again, I guess this is a very informal video. I've got my laptop open in front of me. Um, there are an insane amount of markers. Yeah, do you have anybody else notice how many markers they're putting on their items? Now, I know they have the mode where you can kind of just do the full field where there's no lines, there's not the parallel lines, it's not the angled lines, it's the full field. You don't need markers and you can scan complex features. But like for their other two modes, I mean, there's literally dozens, if not hundreds, of markers that they're putting on these pretty complex and asymmetrical parts that I kind of would have expected the scanner to be able to pick up, and be able to track easily. And another thing that kind of made me wonder, like, why are they including these the pro markers and all the videos? Like, they kind of just use them as rest to kind of lift them up off the table. Like, they're not really using the pro markers in really good ways throughout the videos. Like I said, some of the videos are just using it to lift parts off the table, which I thought was weird. Um, what did it take? Okay, so I noticed on it was taking roughly 10 minutes to scan one of the parts. They kind of start off some of the live videos where they start off with like normal speed and then they go like 5 times the speed. So I did the math. One of the parts was a 10-minute to scan the part. And again, that had so many markers. That was I think that was the timing case cover. No, it was 13 minutes. It was 13 minutes for the timing case cover. So it was kind of like a skinny part, long. I'll show it up on the screen now. Um, and that was a 13-minute scan for one side. And again, it feels like a lot of scan time for that kind of part. And again, like one thing I keep coming back to as I use scanning technology as I'm above a prosumer, so I definitely use it professionally. I scan and develop products for businesses and for individuals to make either one-off prototypes for manufacturing tooling or just for like race car parts. Really, a variety of applications. And honestly, like the amount of accuracy that the Creality, the Raptor X, the Metro X that they're advertising, it's not necessarily needed for the high majority of the projects I'm working on. I think it gets really nice when you're working on really large services. So if you're scanning an entire car, and you're working in multiple projects that you're meshing together, and now you're stacking tolerances, and you want to build like a wide body kit, I can see where in certain cases like that, you're going to really appreciate the resolution and the tolerancing you have for accuracy. That way, you don't have a really big part that is, not matching up to the car after you spent all this time either 3D printing or getting a mold made and getting something, plugged and fiberglass and putting on the car. Um, but for a lot of times, like for instance, like, if I wanted to just create like a turbo manifold and I just wanted to get a quick scan of this turbo, the this Einstar or any smaller, sub $1,000 scanner is more than capable of giving me really good scan data of this turbo where I can get the relativity of this mating surface and this mating surface, the bolt holes, the ID of the flange, same thing with the ID profile of this flange. And you really can use like you get a lot with that scan data. It's not always perfect, but 9 out of 10 times I can design and 3D print on my first try and get the design almost exactly right. Sometimes you do have to modify. Sometimes you miss things, or maybe you have a little bit of bad scan data you need to go back over. But I've thoroughly been impressed with this scanner and with just other low cost ways of measuring things. So I think that's another thing to keep in mind. Like as we're continuing to buy scanners, it kind of reminds me like with TVs how when the first 720p TV came out, and then it was 1080p, and then it's like, oh, 4K, and now they're coming out with 8K TVs. Um, at some point, it just doesn't matter. Like for me, like for like a 4K TV, everything past this doesn't matter. And I kind of think we're hitting that with consumer level scanners, like where the resolution and the accuracy, we're already at the point where as like a consumer grade or a prosumer, um, it doesn't really matter much more than what we're getting right now with products that already exist. I think some of the advancements we really need are around tracking. We need some better technologies where we can scan shiny objects, and very flat objects that are kind of bland and they don't have any like defining geometry. And again, I know blue line scanning is supposed to help with some of that. But again, they're still using a ton of markers and they're still using marker spray. So it doesn't exactly solve it, but you know, it's okay. I don't know. I guess all in all, I'm not saying that the Revopoint, this is their third or fourth Kickstarter campaign, and they do have a reputation. They've had multiple fundraising rounds. You can check it up on Crunchbase. They've raised like they've raised dozens of millions of dollars. So like I don't think they're hurting for money. I don't think that there's going to be anything exactly wrong with the MetroX. And I just think they would need to do a better job at communicating to their customers that they're asking to put their hard earned money on the line. To give up a return policy is huge. I mean, guys, that's a massive ask to be able to pay, even for that 30% discount. If this product sucks, or if it's what if it's like delayed, like what if it, after this round ends and it takes 6 more months, 8 more months, like what if the reason why these YouTubers didn't get access to the software is because it's just really delayed in development to get the plugin for the MetroX. So like getting the firmware to support that scanner for everyone to have, like what if it's crashing a lot, what if there's just bugs that we don't know about, what if there's Windows issues or Mac issues, who knows, like it's very complex, I'm sure, to make the firmware to support the MetroX scanner. And there's a lot of math and engineering going on for 3D scanning. So, like, that to me, it's a big risk. And I don't want to have like an $800 scanner just sitting in my lap doing nothing. Um, when if I just wait a little bit, yeah, I'm going to pay a little bit more. But again, this is going to be on the Amazon store. I mean, Revopoint has an Amazon store. And again, I know I'll be paying $200 to $300 more to buy it on Amazon to do it after the Kickstarter campaign. But that's okay. I'll have a return policy. I can try it. If I don't like it, I'll return it, and that'll be it. And then maybe I want to invest in a more expensive product. Maybe I'll bump up to that next thing where it's like the Raptor or the Raptor X. Or maybe I'll just stick with the Einstar. Or maybe I'll kind of go down to a smaller model. But who knows? Like, all I'm saying is, I think Revopoint, I'm challenging you to please get the software in the hands of non-biased YouTubers. That way they can scan and get models and get feedback to everybody. I bet you're like $1.88 million right now on Kickstarter. Let's look. You're at $1.87 million on Kickstarter. You have 13 days to go at this point at the filming of this video. I bet you if you release that software to the YouTubers I talked about, feel free to send me a kit. I'd be more than happy to review it too. Again, I don't have any street cred when it comes to 3D scanning, but I'll be more than happy to give you a fair shake. Again, I love scanning. I love technology, and I'm going to be using scanning all over this car to be designing parts over this winter build. But please, just get it in the hands of somebody who's going to give you an honest and open scan feedback and use it in real world cases, because I bet you if you do that, you easily get above that $2 million mark with your pledges. And then people are just going to be like more willing to support your projects. Like, you owe it to the consumers to do everything you can right now to make them feel warm and fuzzy. And right now, it just feels like you're kind of shady and hiding things. So, guys, this is why I canceled my pledge. Take it or leave it. Again, this is just my opinion. This is where I stand. Reddit's got a bunch of chatter going on with the similar topics too. But do your research. Make sure you're aware of the risks. And, I best of luck to everybody. Again, my name's Colin. I appreciate you all hanging out. And again, I'm going to be doing some 3D scanning too. I'm going to be using the Einstar. Maybe Revopoint will send me a MetroX, and some point I can do some scanning and give you some good feedback on it. But either way, appreciate your time and thanks for watching.